The ripping sound cut through the cafeteria like a knife through quiet, and suddenly the whole lunchroom at Westfield High snapped to attention. 200 pairs of eyes, forks frozen mid-air, conversations dead in their tracks, all zeroed in on Sarah Thompson. Standing there, absolutely still, with her uniform split wide from collar to waist, the torn fabric slipping from her shoulder, bearing the tank top underneath. You could practically feel the heat rising off her skin, a flush of shock and embarrassment, but also something else, a stubborn kind of fire that refused to die out even as camera phones rose up all around, hungry to catch every detail of her humiliation. "Oops," Tyler Morrison said, and the word dripped off his tongue like he was proud of himself. He still had his quarterback hands twisted in the torn fabric, his laughter booming across the room, bouncing off the cinder-block walls. The cafeteria's lights threw sharp shadows on his face, making him look more wolf than high school senior, and the whole room seemed to lean in, waiting for what would happen next. You know what I mean? That kind of moment, where you realize the whole world is watching, and every breath feels heavy as a brick. Sarah didn't cry. Not a single tear. She did exactly what her grandfather always told her during those early morning physical therapy sessions, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Stay calm, even when the world turns upside down. She kept her head up, her hands covering the worst of the damage, but she wouldn't let herself run, not for Tyler, not for anyone. Tyler leaned in, grinning, 6'3" of muscle and privilege, and sneered, "What's wrong? Keck out your tongue? Or are you finally learning your place?" The cafeteria just hung there, suspended, everyone watching, not even the lunch ladies daring to scoop mashed potatoes. "My place," Sarah echoed, and her voice was soft but clear, echoing off those walls. "My place is wherever I decide to stand." And you could tell by the twitch in Tyler's jaw. Nobody ever talked back to him like that, not the star quarterback, not the guy whose dad wrote checks to the athletic department bigger than most folks' mortgage payments. He tried to wave her off. Called her the scholarship kid whose mom worked double shifts at Dallas Memorial, told her to run along to the bathroom before he finished the job. But Sarah just bent down, gathered her scattered books, deliberate and unhurried. She'd watched her grandfather fight Parkinson's one step at a time, watched her mother keep the lights on with overtime, so a torn uniform, well, that was just cloth. As Sarah walked out, someone in the crowd started a slow, mocking clap. Others joined in, and soon the sound followed her down the hallway, thunderous and cruel. But she noticed things. Even then, her friend Madison sitting frozen, too scared to move, Mrs. Rodriguez, the new vice principal, standing in the doorway with her phone out. Not everyone was clapping. Behind the closed bathroom door, Sarah finally let the full weight hit her. She saw her own reflection, brown skin flushed, messy hair, uniform ruined, but her eyes still steady. She remembered it all started small, 3 months ago, with Tyler showing up at her locker, flanked by his football cronies, making cracks about her, ruining the curve in chemistry. What did she do? She just studied hard, and that was apparently enough to put a target on her back. The campaign grew, first gum in her locker, then books knocked from her arms, then a silent wall of intimidation every day. "Why don't you tell someone?" Madison had asked her once at lunch, voice barely above a whisper. Sarah had just shrugged. "His dad practically owns this place," she'd said, "and my mom can't afford for me to have any problems. My scholarship apps need to be perfect." It escalated, week by week, Tyler mapping out her routines, always just out of reach but always there, making sure she never felt safe. The first time he got physical, he shoulder-checked her into a row of lockers so hard she could barely breathe for days. Coach Williams saw everything, just turned away. Message received, Tyler Morrison was untouchable. But every night, Sarah did her grandfather's exercises with him, and every night he saw through her. "You're favoring your left side," he'd said. "Who did it?" "It doesn't matter," Sarah tried, but he squeezed her hand. "It always matters. Bullies understand one thing: consequences. Not violence for the sake of it, but the knowledge that their actions cost something." The words stuck with her. So did the muscle memory. Weeks passed. Tyler's campaign grew, and so did Sarah's resolve. By month 2, Tyler had the basketball team and the cheerleaders involved, rumor mills churning, her isolation nearly complete. Even teachers grew wary, not wanting to draw Tyler's attention. Sarah doubled down on her studies, winning science fairs, tutoring for free, stacking up accomplishments like a shield. The more she achieved, the meaner Tyler got. He made an Instagram account just to post photos of her, eating alone, reading, doing nothing but existing, and people ate it up. The last straw came when she got called into the principal's office to receive her trophy, only to find Tyler already there, painting himself as the concerned classmate. Principal Hawkins fell for it, even suggested she pull back on extracurriculars and try to fit in more. Tyler played his part well, but Sarah saw through him. She left with a warning and found her trophy smashed in the parking lot. Tyler posted a video of the act, calling her a loser, thousands of views racking up like salt in the wound. That day, something in her changed. She realized Tyler wouldn't stop until he'd erased her. So after the cafeteria incident, she reached for her phone, opened the group chat Madison had created for Tyler's victims, 14 members, all with stories to tell. He ripped my uniform in front of everyone. I'm done being silent, Sarah typed, and the floodgates opened. Testimonies poured in, screenshots piling up. She sent it all to Mrs. Rodriguez with a single plea, please help us. A knock at the bathroom door. Madison stood there, holding out a hoodie, apologizing through tears for not standing up sooner. I was scared, too, Sarah told her, but not anymore. Mrs. Rodriguez texted back immediately, come to my office. Bring anyone who wants to speak up. They walked together, and by the time they reached the office, they were joined by a dozen others, each with a story, each with evidence. Tyler's empire was starting to crack. That night, Sarah sat with Mrs. Rodriguez, the vice principal, laying out the stakes. Tyler's family will fight this. Are you ready? Sarah thought of her mom's double shifts, her grandfather's battles, her own long months alone. I'm ready. We all are. The next morning, Sarah dressed for war, nothing loose, nothing flashy, just jeans, sneakers, and her grandfather's old dog tags hidden under her shirt. As she approached the school, the group of survivors formed a tight circle around her. Tyler and his crew waited outside, cocky as ever, but when the confrontation came, everything her grandfather taught her kicked in. When Kyle took the first swing, Sarah dodged. Then when Tyler grabbed her arm, she used his own weight against him. One perfect knee strike, months of practice behind it, and Tyler dropped, gasping on the pavement. The crowd went wild, some cheered, some filmed, but Sarah stood firm. I didn't start this, but I'm done being your victim. We all are. Mrs. Rodriguez showed the security footage, 3 months of Tyler's abuse on display for everyone. Coach Williams' neglect clear as day. The tide turned instantly. Students flooded forward with stories, Tyler's crew scattered, and his father's threats fell flat when faced with proof. In the aftermath, Tyler was expelled, his followers suspended, teachers reprimanded, and Sarah, well, she became a counselor for other victims, started self-defense classes in her garage with her grandfather, and watched as the movement spread school-wide. She saw Tyler once more at a gas station, him pumping gas, hunched, his power gone. He didn't say a word. Sarah's life moved on, college acceptance letters, her mother's promotion, and a garage full of students learning to protect themselves, to speak up, to never be small again. At graduation, Sarah stood at the podium, looking out at a gym packed with students wearing purple ribbons, kids who now had a voice, who refused to let fear or cruelty define them. We have a choice, she said. We can be bystanders, or we can be upstanders. I choose courage. I challenge you to do the same. The standing ovation echoed long after her words faded, a new chapter beginning not just for Sarah, but for everyone who ever needed to hear that fighting back, together, can change everything. So, what do you think? Where's the line between standing up for yourself and crossing it? Have you ever seen a bully fall, or did it change your view of justice or community? Let's talk in the comments, because these stories belong to all of us.